awesome. What a breeze.
This is a video trip report for the Chetco River in early June 2019. And after a 10-mile hike, we hiked down to Granite Creek and started paddling what's known as the Magic Canyon. Here we are sort of entering the Magic Canyon. We had about 600 CFS at Brookings. Brookings at where the Chetco River meets the Pacific Ocean. So even though it's 600 CFS there, it's a lot lower here. This is probably like 100 and 150 CFS where we're at now. And of course, it gains water the whole time. A lot of the rapids in this first few miles might seem impossible. You might look at them and think, there's no way I'm getting down. But with some creativity and jumping around your boat a bit, you can figure out a way to get down a lot of these rapids. And it's really good practice. The rapids downstream are tough, and this is a good chance to get used to moving around on your boat and just practicing these skills that you'll need later. So I really feel like these first 2 miles downstream of Granite Creek are an amazing warm-up for the rest of the run. You can also put in a side creek, just above the hard rapids, but like I said, this warm-up is really nice. We also spend quite a bit of time working on communication up in this section. And a lot of the rapids involve us just paddling into them with some momentum, end up inevitably hitting some sort of a rock, stopping, wiggling around, picking up momentum, getting stuck again, and wiggling off. This is just, like I said earlier, just really good practice for some of the rapids we'll have downstream. And after that rapid, actually, we're entering this really cool deep canyon gorge that has a few easy rapids, but it's generally flat water. I've never seen anything like this anywhere else. It's truly spectacular. So after a few miles here in the Magic Canyon, we get to a place called Babyfoot Creek. Babyfoot Creek enters from the right. You can see it coming in from the right there. And we get a little bit more water, and things water-wise pick up a little bit. Just below Babyfoot Creek is Slide Creek Camp, and there's a camp here on the left. This year we decided to push past. We were making good time, so we pushed past the Slide Creek Camp. And this is the Slide Creek Rapid. It's a really cool rapid. It looks, really shallow, but it's just a fun, tricky maze of boulders trying to get through here and kind of choose your own adventure. And below Slide Creek, this is where the action really starts picking up. The next 2 miles is just rapid after rapid. We call this initiation. This is just a good, clean, fun warm-up to give you a sense of what's going to come below. So this rapid is one of the biggest on the whole section. We call this Wilson's Way after Alan Wilson, the pioneer of this section. And this is a non-mandatory. Like, a lot of times people want to walk around it. The guides will run the boats through. It's a pretty big drop, and definitely pretty complicated. Great place to take photos, cheer everybody on. This is the same rapid, but taking some video from the bottom of the rapid. And there's a good line here, but you definitely have to feel really solid skill-wise if you want to paddle down this rapid. These wing boats that we have based on the Sotar ATV plow through these drops beautifully. And just lots of little rapids like this, channels, tight channels with eddies below to make it through. It's just a lot of back-to-back rapids like this one. And this night we camped in the heart of what we call the Upper Gorge. This is just a small campsite among the boulders, and it was a great place to have dinner and hang out and camp. And every morning we'd get up and we'd pack up our bags and tie them into the boats. Again, these are the Wing Jimbo kayaks based off the Sotar ATV. And there's a lot of room to just push these bags down and tie them in. And the guides were running pretty heavy boats. And it's amazing how much weight we can put in them with the guides. This is the first rapid of our third morning. It's a tight little one. And again, our skills for just kind of wiggling through come in pretty handy here. And this is one of the biggest ones. At lower levels, we don't run this one. And so it's nice to have a 600 CFS. There's enough water to make it down, and it's a really cool rapid. And through here, lots of tight little channels, tight little moves, just big enough for a boat. Super fun. And this is one of them we call the Sieve Rapids. There used to be a sieve at the bottom. That whole river right side has been landsliding, and so this rapid changes every year. There's a log on the left there, so we had to portage the bottom part. And this is one rapid that we almost always portage on the left. This is a lot of work. This is a good 45-minute portage up and over those rocks on the left. This is Emily running that rapid. It's a pretty tight move. We ran the gear boats down because it saved us a lot of portaging work. But definitely a tough rapid with potential dangers. And being this remote, we don't really want to take chances. So Emily felt good about it. But we were pretty conservative and portaged most of the boats around that one. And below that rapid, there's a few more pretty cool, challenging ones. This is one, there is a line on the right over there, but there's some nasty sieve if you mess up. So we almost always line the boats through. It's actually kind of fun. You know, it's this looks like work, but if you like this kind of thing, teamwork and adventure and jumping around, if this is the kind of trip for you, if this looks like painful work, you probably don't want to come on this river because there's a lot of this, lots of little challenges. But I really enjoy this stuff, and it's part of the reason I like the Chetco. I mean, it's almost more interesting than running the rapid, trying to figure out how to safely get these boats down, handing off ropes, working as a team. It's actually, to me, really interesting project. And again, this is Emily and Aaron. This is guests and guides working together to get these boats down. Well, after this, you can almost see the end of the gorge down there. That the canyon tightens up, and we get to a side creek called Granite Creek, and that sort of signals the end of the hardest section of the Upper Chetco. This is one of the rapids just before Granite Creek. And once Granite Creek comes in the right, there's another great rapid in that section. It's just super fun in there. Just good, clean fun. Once we pass Granite Creek, the river mellows out a bit, and we're at a place here called Taggart's Bar, and just has some beautiful pools. And there's a old gold mine high up on the bench to the right. And if you went up there, you'd see some remnants of that. You could find some remnants of that. But now that this is deep in the wilderness, nobody goes in there anymore. And once we pass Taggart's Bar, there's still some really cool rapids downstream, but they're spread out. There's more time in between, and there's fewer portages downstream. This is one I just really like. We call this Red Rocks Rapid. This rock is radial Larry and Shirt, and just a really beautiful contrast. And the river has more, boulders and chutes and normal rapids versus upstream. Well, there's boulders and chutes upstream too, but they're a little more sharp and jagged upstream. Lots of fun rapids like this. Tight moves, figuring out the puzzle. Here we are at Tin Cup Rapids. This is 3 back-to-back big rapids. This is the second of the 3, and one of the more challenging rapids in the run too. And Tin Cup Creek comes in on the right just downstream. This is the last part of the Tin Cup Rapids here, coming down. So once we got past this one, Tin Cup Rapids, like I said, Tin Cup Creek comes in on the right, and some time to relax after this and enjoy a few miles without many rapids. Except this one, I call this White Rocks Rapid. I just think this is stunningly beautiful in here, and nice little clean drop. And this is, again, the style of the rapids in this lower section. Huge boulders, huge rounded boulders, tight little chutes. Once in a while we'll have a portage in this section because of a log, or maybe because of low water something isn't quite right. This is when a lot of boats flip right there. And I think we call this one Little Flip or something like that, Little Flipper, because both Emily Little and her dad, Larry Little, flipped on that rapid. So few people have done the Chetco. The rapids are barely named, so occasionally we'll take our own creative license and name them. And this is another fun one. There's multiple routes down this rapid. The really fun route, that one's cool, is right here down the middle between these rocks. And by now the river, the river was probably 150 CFS up by Carter Creek where we started. And we've taken on so many creeks, we probably have 400 or 500 CFS here. We're punching through holes, making tougher moves through rocks. And this was our last night camp. This is what we call Waterfall Camp. And this is downstream. You can take out at Tolman Ranch, but we decided to go past Tolman Ranch and do one more night below there.